Then Caesar laughed. It was soft, dismissive, dangerous in its casualness. "Empires are not returned," he said. "They are inherited by the worthy." As he spoke, he shifted his weight, folding his arms comfortably across his chest, and leaned. Against the fire pillar, Lyrix's eyes widened. "Brox!" There came a sound like a muffled crack. The great metal bowl atop the pillar tilted. Oil sloshed, flame spilled. A single burning drop fell upon the waiting fabric of a hanging curtain. Fire caught, and for one breathless moment, nothing happened. Then the parchment nearest curled, blackened, ignited, and the great library inhaled fire. For a single stunned heartbeat, no one moved. The flame had fallen, the curtain had caught, and the fire had spoken. Julius Caesar stood frozen, one hand half raised, eyes locked on the sudden rush of light and heat. The overturned pillar still smoldered beside him, oil streaming across the marble like liquid shadow. For the first time since he had entered the library, he looked small. Cleopatra was the first to recover. "Out!" she snapped. The Roman soldiers did not hesitate. They closed ranks around their rulers and turned at once for the great doors, shoving past attendants, servants, and scholars alike. Fear stripped all reverence from their movements. They ran. Behind them, the fire surged. Scrolls shriveled on the shelves. Parchment curled in on itself like dying leaves. Flames leapt from curtain to tapestry, from tapestry to wood, from wood to knowledge. Smoke rolled across the ceiling in choking waves. And then Solander moved. He dropped to one knee and swung his great leather bag from his shoulder to the floor. "My boy," he said calmly, "you know what to do." The bag shuddered. Its seams rippled. And with a twitch and a pop, small leather legs burst from its base. Before anyone could gasp, the bag lurched forward. Its great mouth yawned wide, far wider than its size could ever allow. And with a roaring pull, it began to drink in the library itself. Scrolls tore free from shelves. Tablets skidded across stone. Books vanished mid-fall. The bag moved like a creature possessed, hobbling, lunging, turning on itself as knowledge vanished into its impossible depths. The suction grew so fierce that one of the druids staggered forward with a cry. Lyrix yanked him back by the belt just in time. "Mind the bag!" he shouted. Solander was already grabbing some of the scrolls. "Everything you can," he thundered. And they did. The druids moved with uncanny speed, snatching armfuls of scrolls from the shelves. Brox ripped whole stacks loose and hurled them into the waiting darkness. The librarian, weeping openly now, staggered between tables, pressing books and scrolls to his chest before surrendering them one by one to the devouring mouth of the bag. "Oh, my gods, my beautiful books," he sobbed. "My beautiful." Fire exploded up a column behind him. They dragged him away. The bag did not slow. It scuttled, twisted, gulped, hesitated, surged again. It did not want to leave. It wanted everything. Above them, the roof groaned. Beams cracked. Ash rained down. The heat became unbearable. The air turned to knives. "Now," Lyrix cried. "Now, or we die with it." Solander seized the writhing bag by its strap. "You did enough," he growled. The bag resisted. It pulled once more toward the burning shelves. Then Solander wrenched it free. "Run!" They ran. Through smoke, through falling embers, through corridors already choking black with heat. The great doors loomed ahead like a fading promise. They burst through just as the first section of the roof collapsed behind them, in a thunder of fire and stone. Outside, the daylight had turned blood red. They fell to the ground in gasps and burns and tears, and behind them, the great Library of Alexandria burned. For a long while, the stone shell stood. Then the roof gave way, and the heart of the world fell inward. And so it came to pass that the great Library of Alexandria, jewel of the ancient world, became a story told in smoke and contradiction. Julius Caesar, who had never been fond of loose ends, especially those that resembled guilt, soon dictated a far neater version of events to his loyal scribes. According to Rome, a regrettable military incident in the harbor had sent flames racing through the city, and quite tragically, the library had been lost in the chaos. An unfortunate accident of war. A terrible shame. Nothing to be done. The scrolls of history would, in time, contradict each other just enough to keep scholars very busy for the next 2,000 years or so. Cleopatra, for her part, mourned, not loudly, not publicly, but deeply, for the library had been more than a symbol of power to her. It had been her pride, her sanctuary, her dream of a world ruled by knowledge instead of swords. And when that dream burned, something else cooled as well. Her affection for Rome did not survive the embers. As for the librarian, no one ever quite discovered what became of him, at least, not according to the official records. But travelers in the northern lands would later speak of a bent old scholar in unfamiliar robes, wandering into Gaul with several half-burnt books still clutched stubbornly to his chest. They said he spoke little at first, only stared into fires. And then, one day, he began to teach. The Druids accepted him without question. For grief, they knew well. The Gauls returned home as they had come tired, singed, and changed. Their heads carried what they could remember. And though their lands remained under Roman rule, something far older had slipped safely through the cracks of empire. And Salander walked onward, with a bag that should not have been able to carry what it carried, with knowledge that refused to stay buried, with a mission that would unfold not in years, but in centuries. From time to time, strange scrolls would surface where none should exist, in monasteries, in forgotten vaults, in libraries that swore they had never owned them. Star charts, medicines, architectural designs were far ahead of their time. Whispers of pillars beneath pyramids, of hollow spaces under stone giants, of truths that waited patiently until humanity was ready to look without fear. 2,000 years later, when accidental evidence finally confirmed what had once been traced by charcoal on ancient papyrus, some would wonder why the truth felt familiar, as if it had been remembered before it was discovered. And so the world went on, believing much had been lost, never quite realizing how much had been quietly saved. For perhaps the world is not as broken as it sometimes seems, just memories and knowledge to be awakened. And somewhere, under starlight and tree shadow, a druid still smiles. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe, so you will always know when the next story is available. Thank you.